Hey everyone, this is week 14, number 126, sampler. This is in your Van Cleves book, page 70 at the bottom, sampler. The purpose of this experiment is to demonstrate core sampling. And so what we're going to do it slightly different than the book, because in the book it says you need 3 different colors of modeling clay. Instead, I'm going to have 3 different colors of Play-Doh. What we've done in the past is every student got their own core sample. I think it would be more fun for each class to get their own little container of Play-Doh, and you're going to make one big core sampling as a class, and each student will get their own little piece of straw, and they're going to get to practice both sides. So they're going to get about a half a straw. I'm going to take the straws and cut them in half, and they're going to do one on one side, one on the other, so that they can observe it themselves. But you're going to create it as a class, which you could do as the tutor, and then the students will then get to come over and do their core sampling. So each class is going to get 3 colors of Play-Doh, as I mentioned.
Okay,
And what you're going to do is flatten them. I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm only using a tiny little piece for the demonstration as not to waste it. Shh. You got Play-Doh. This is for your class. Sorry, guys. You're going to make it into, it's not going to be like an egg shape. I'm probably going to give you like a half a container of Play-Doh. We'll see. And what you're going to do is flatten it. And you're going to do that with all 3 according to the directions. Rebecca, I'm trying to see. Please move out of the way. And I apologize in advance if some of my kids already know what to expect, because it's really hard to do this without them here. So you're going to flatten the Play-Doh pieces and stack them on top of one another to form a block. It says about 1 inch thick. So I'm just going to take the 3. It's going to be a big version of this, okay? But I'm demonstrating what you're going to do in class. You're going to take all 3 pieces and layer them like this. It says about 1 inch thick, so that's probably about 1 inch thick right there. And I'm going to be able to do this probably twice with this little sampling. You're going to make a bigger one for all of the students in your class to create 2. They should have enough to do both sides of their half straw. So you're going to take the straw, and I'm going to try to point it down so you can see what I'm doing, and you're going to push it through. Now, in the book, it says when you pull it out, you can take nail scissors and cut it. Why bother? Honestly, we have never done that in the past, because I think that's kind of a waste, because you can see it better if you just leave it in here. I would think because Play-Doh is softer that it would easily fall apart if you did that. So I wouldn't do that. And then see how it created a little hole in it? And then you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to push. Each student probably gets to do this twice. Oh, that one didn't actually. Actually, if you push it through, that might work better. That didn't quite work because the end of my straw is kind of messed up, so never mind. I only got to do it once, but you might actually be able to do it a second time and then just have, isn't that cool? So really the idea is for them to see the layers of the earth. And so when geologists, I would guess, are taking samplings of the earth to learn more about it, this is how they're able to see the layers, and they have bigger machines that can do something like this. They have a coring device made of metal, and they use them to cut through the layers of soil, just as the layers of clay, or Play-Doh, were cut. The metal core sampler has a plunger that pushes the soil out so that it can be studied. So I think that's why they say you can use the nail scissors and cut it and take it out. We're not going to do that. And I could care less if they take these home or if you throw them away. I'm not one who likes to waste, so when you're done, any of the Play-Doh that can be salvaged, you can put it back in the container. I don't think this can be salvaged. I think I'm just going to toss this. But make enough that way every student in your class can do that at least once. And this Play-Doh, this side of my straw was a little bent. Yours won't be. I just was trying to not be wasteful and use one that I already had. So every student's going to get a half piece of straw, and you're going to get 3 containers of Play-Doh, and then they're going to be able to, instead of removing what it says in the book is clay plug, instead of removing the Play-Doh plug, you're just going to leave it inside the straw so they can easily observe it. And then in your Nicoleum sheets, it actually shows pictures of that. I call them Nicoleum sheets because she's the username on CC Connected. Nicoleum. Nicole Liam Yang is her actual name, if you were interested in learning. But this whole section of science is all going to be about earth science, biology and earth science. So geologists study what the earth is made of, as well as what shapes the earth. And they dig through the earth's crust And it helps them to better understand what has happened in the past, as well as what could be good for our present and future. So that's one of the reasons why they do core sampling. And so the conclusion is really helpful in explaining better exactly how they study the layers of the Earth. The Earth's crust alone, it says, is 21 miles deep. The mantle, because we're learning the layers of the Earth, so core, it's a core, mantle, crust, are the layers of the Earth. Geosphere. Is that geosphere? Sorry, don't even mind my inability to remember. The mantle, it says, below the crust is about 1,774 miles deep. So the crust is 21 miles. The mantle below it is 1,774 miles deep. And then I don't think we've ever actually been to the core because we can't get that far. But anyway, that's one of the reasons why they study it, is to learn more about the Earth. And so lots of really helpful information here. Again, remembering that if you're going to sit in class and just read this to your students, you're going to lose them. This is very visual. Read through this yourself on your own time so that you can highlight the things that you want to discuss, highlight the questions you want to ask. And this is one of 2 experiments you're doing for week 14. So you're going to have to leave some time for that experiment as well. The other one is super fast. It's spoon pen, where you're scraping porcelain tiles with a pen. I can't find my metal pens at the, not pens, my spoons at the moment. They're somewhere in my supplies. So I will find them and I will record that separate video. But this should take you at least 15 minutes. So having visuals and taking the time to look at these pictures, actually, this picture is really cool because it talks about all the layers of the Earth, and that's going to connect them with their science memory work for that week. So that is week 14, number 126 sampler.